I would like to, at the initial stage, say that, even much before Rachel Carson's Silent Spring, India has had very deep insights into environmentalism. If you take a look at conversations with Gandhi or with Rabindranath Tagore, or even for that matter, people like M. Munshi, M. Krishnan, they wrote about the forest, they wrote about the wild life, the soil, the water, urbanization, industrialization. They posited these ideas, what Guha would call a livelihood environmentalism. And also our people in the forests, the tribals, the indigenous people of India, so it may not be a full stomach environmentalism, but they spoke about that much before the affluent world did. So I want to give an acknowledgement to all those who have shaped our thoughts on environmentalism and who have played a pioneering role in shaping global conversations about humanity's relationship with nature. Then I would like to say a few words about Miranda House. We have had a very long-standing legacy, much before the climate action or understanding around climate action had come to universities and colleges. Miranda has had right from 1998, we have had very extensive sustainability support. So we started with the recycling, recomposting unit, which is set up here. We have a rainwater harvesting, we have gray wastewater recycling, we grow hydroponics, we have composting, we are now completely on solar energy. We look at plastic waste management, bottle balers, yarn making, paper recycling. We are completely sustainable on that. We have paper, the paper in college is coming through our own eco-sustainable units, and it has gained recognition as a very sustainable campus. Our key sustainable initiatives has been around, waste management and recycling. Other than that, we have looked at energy and green tech. But I would say the significant part of it is that it is all led by students. We have very important collaborations, similarly to what Professor Seema Agarwal said, with Bisleri, with other NGOs working on it, with government organizations. So we do have cleanup drives. In fact, whenever there is an election and if there is paper around the campus due to campaigning, Miranda House is the one doing the cleanup drive, then reusing that paper to have recycled paper for us. So we do a number of tree planting. We work with 5 villages, which we have adopted. And I feel that that is also a learning on both sides. So we learn from those villages also about sustainability, about sanitation, about waste management, about energy management. So we have been recognized as a sustainable campus by the Ministry of Education. And recently, Delhi University gave us a cleanest and greenest campus awards. But going beyond awards, we also have a very important initiative, which is we have looked at social entrepreneurship and at rural engagement. That has been a major kind of a focus for us. We have created incubation center around it. And recently, 2 or 3 of those activities around sustainable fabric has caught the eye of the government, so to say. Utkrisht Miranda, where we are looking at sustainable products, fabric, clothing that is being made by some of our students who are entrepreneurs, looking at eco-sustainable products around it. And one young faculty started something called Micholi, which is again on sustainable fabrics and sustainable colors, because we think that that could be one way of engaging with the youth on this. Apart from that, another very important program which has won attention and has got a number of awards is a small sustainable unit by young people called Nitara, which is looking at mushroom binding materials. So having packaging materials which are strong, which are resilient, but which are also biodegradable. So I would say there are a number of such initiatives which the college has had, apart from the ones that I just mentioned. But we are just beginning the conversation, and we are listening to our young people. We are incubating startups, not just of students of Miranda House, but our alumni or other young women who are working in those areas. One of those sustainability support groups that we have formed, we have also these, a kind of a partnership with the northeast of India, because we have a lot to learn from them. the whole of the Northeast, and especially about sustainability. So in that, we are part of the bamboo initiative. So we're looking at bamboo products and around furniture, around paper, how we can sustain that. That's also a focus. So moving further on this, we have a very active science department, which is also doing research in this field. So how can we bring about greater research on this field so that we are able to create prototypes of these products which are sustainable in the market? So if you're looking at climate action, you need to look at finance for the climate action. You need to look at resources that you can mobilize, and how these adopting of these green behaviors can be done with the young people who are here. So when I'm looking at students, I'm just saying that instead of saying that we are going to be talking with them, I think it's important that we listen to them. And they have a lot to say, and they are leading programs right now. In fact, apart from the programs that I have mentioned, we are now associated with WWF, and we are with the ECO program, which mentors youths to explore their local environments, innovate, and transform the idea into impactful environmental ventures. So a whole lot of local, regional, national, global initiatives strengthened through collaborations with young people, looking at climate action, looking at sustainability products, engaging in conversations with the rural area where indigenous knowledge can be derived, and looking at high-end scientific developments. I mean, Jamia is leading the way. It's the third most sustainable campus in the country with the National Institutional Ranking Framework. So how can we learn from each other? Those conversations are also important. Our teachers are leading the programs. Our students are leading the programs. We would like to facilitate that. We would not want to recognize that. But and I think this is not a conversation for a day. This is a conversation that needs to continue. And the UN climate action programs have looked at, especially the United Nations Environment Program, have looked at something called green nudges. And we have been a part of that, just nudging people to adopt sustainable behavior. This is a conversation that cannot stop. We need to engage in this conversation, and we have to find creative ways of doing that. It is not a us and them situation. We are in it together. And this is very well said, that we need to engage with the youth in every sense of the term. So I would also like to mention that while we are doing all these activities on campus and beyond the campus, reaching out to the community, I feel it would be one of the recommendation would be to look at what Rajiv is doing. And I think it's a wonderful step to take, to look at young people as climate ambassadors or as environmental ambassadors, listening to them talk, knowing what their issues are. And that would be a better way to go about it. So my message would be, let's listen to young people, let's support their initiatives, let's find out how we can work together, look at synergistic conversations around the environment. So climate advocacy would be one. And if you take a look at India, we are doing very well in terms of our sustainable development goals. But as we sit in Delhi, we realize environment cannot be only a national or a regional goal. It has to be a global, collaboration. And how can we do that? And in that, we need role models, and those role models have to be young people. But I feel it's important for us to recognize that this October, we had Jane Goodall, who passed away recently. And Goodall said that we should not, I think it's very important for us to recognize that when she started working on the primates and moving to the forest and talking about environmental protection and promotion, and looking at sustainable, living, and looking at the connection between the environment and the human world, she was doing it. There were not many like her. And I feel that she dies at 90 years of age, and she still never gave up hope. And I think that is where the secret lies. So, and she said something which I find very inspiring, that if we all give up hope and do nothing, then indeed there is no hope.